Are you preparing for your exam and confused about the NCERT textbook questions of this chapter? Don't worry, in this video we will solve all the NCERT textbook questions from the chapter Living Creatures Exploring Their Characteristics. I will explain them in a very simple way so that you can easily write them in your exams. Now, let us start with the first question. List the similarities and differences in life cycles of plants and animals. Similarities: both plants and animals grow and develop during their life. Both start their life cycle from a beginning stage, that is, seed in plants and newborn in animals. Both reproduce to produce young ones of their own kind. Both respond to environmental changes. Both die after completing their life cycle. And differences between plants and animals are: plants grow from seeds, while animals are born from eggs or directly as young ones. Plants are usually fixed in one place. Animals can move from place to place. And growth is mostly continuous in plants, and growth usually stops after reaching adulthood in animals. Reproduction occurs through seeds, flowers or spores in plants, while reproduction in animals occurs through eggs or birth. Plants do not undergo metamorphosis, but some animals like frog and mosquito undergo metamorphosis. So, both animals and plants are living beings and show life cycles, but their growth patterns, movement and development stages are different. Next question. The table on the next page shows some data. Study the data and try to find out examples appropriate for the conditions given in the second and third columns. If you think that an example for any of the conditions given below is not possible, explain why. So, first it is given that it does not grow and it does not respire. So, we can write examples like stone, chair or pencil, because these are non-living things and they do not grow or respire. Second, does it grow? No. Does it respire? Yes. Example can be a dormant seed. A dormant seed may not show visible growth, but it is still alive and slowly respiring. When it gets suitable conditions like water, air and warmth, it begins to germinate and grow into a plant. Third one, does it grow? Yes. Does it respire? No. Example can be a mountain or crystal. A mountain or crystal may increase in size slowly due to natural processes. However, they do not respire and do not perform life process, so they are non-living things. Fourth one, does it grow? Yes. Does it respire? Yes. Examples: it can be a plant, animal or even human beings, because these are living beings and they grow and respire. So, growth and respiration are important characteristics of living beings. Only living organisms show both growth and respiration. Third question. We have learned that different conditions are required for seed germination. How can we use this knowledge for proper storage of grains and pulses? So, we have learned that water, air and suitable temperature are required for seed germination. If grains and pulses are stored properly, we can prevent unwanted germination and spoilage. For proper storage, grains and pulses should be stored in dry conditions because moisture can start germination and cause spoilage. They should be dried well in sunlight before storage. And air and moisture should be reduced by storing grains in airtight containers. Storage places should be clean, cool and dry. Thus, proper storage helps in protecting grains and pulses. Next question. You have learned that a tail is present in a tadpole, but it disappears as it grows into a frog. What is the advantage of having a tail in the tadpole stage? The tail is very useful in the tadpole stage because it helps the tadpole swim in water. Tadpoles move by waving their tails from side to side, which helps them move in water, find food and escape from danger. As the tadpole grows into a frog, it develops strong legs for movement. Gradually, the tail disappears because the frog now can jump and swim using its legs. Thus, the tail helps the tadpole in movement and survival during its early stage of life. Next question. Charan says that a wooden log is non-living as it cannot move. Charu counters it by saying that it is living because it is made of wood obtained from trees. Give your arguments in favor or against the two statements given by Charan and Charu. Here, Charan's statement is partly correct because a wooden log is a non-living. However, movement alone cannot be used to decide whether something is living or non-living, since plants do not move from place to place but are still living. And Charu's statement is also not correct because wood comes from a living tree, but a wooden log is no longer a living being after it is cut from the tree. It does not show characteristics of life such as growth, respiration, reproduction, etc. Therefore, a wooden log is considered non-living. Next question. What are the similarities and distinguishing features in the life cycles of a mosquito and a frog? Similarities. Both mosquito and frog begin their life cycle from eggs. Both pass through different stages of growth and development before becoming fully grown. In both cases, the early stages live in water. Distinguishing features. The mosquito life cycle has 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and mosquito. The frog life cycle has 4 stages too: egg, tadpole, froglet, and frog. The fully grown mosquito is a flying insect, while the fully grown frog lives both on land and in water. Next question. A plant is provided with all the conditions suitable for its growth. Figure 10.9. Draw what you expect to see in the shoot and the root of the plant after 1 week. Write down the reasons. Answer. After 1 week, even when the pot is kept sidewise, the shoot bends and grows upward outside the soil, while the root grows downward inside the soil. Reason: shoots grow upward and towards slightly, which is called phototropism, while roots grow downward due to gravity, which is called geotropism. Therefore, the shoot bends upward and the root continues to grow downward. Next question. Tara and Vijay set up the experiment shown in the picture, figure 10.10. What do you think they want to find out? How will they know if they are correct? So, what do they want to find out? Tara and Vijay want to find out how shoots respond to light, that is phototropism, and how roots respond to gravity, that is geotropism, even when the pot is placed in different positions. And how will they know if they are correct? After a few days, they will observe that the shoot bends and grows upward towards light, while the root grows downward due to gravity, even when the pot is kept in different positions. Next question. Design an experiment to check if temperature has an effect on seed germination. So, we need seeds, 2 identical containers, soil and water. Take the container and fill them with soil. Sow an equal number of seeds in both containers and water both containers equally. Keep one container in a warm place and the other in a cool place. Ensure that both containers receive the same amount of water and air. Observe the seeds daily for 7 to 10 days. You will see that seeds in the warm place germinate faster, showing that moderate warmth helps germination. Temperature affects seed germination. Seeds germinate better in moderate warm conditions. Now, in the section Learning Further, we have some interesting activities that will help you explore the topic better. Make a field trip to a local garden. Interact with a gardener to learn about various conditions and the time required for the growth of various plants. Now, in this activity, you need to make a field trip to a local garden. There, interact with the gardener and ask about the different conditions required for plant growth, such as sunlight, water, soil, air, and suitable temperature. You can also ask how much time different plants take to grow. This will help you understand how plants grow in real-life conditions. Next one. Can we grow plants without germinating their seeds? Explore and cite some examples. Answer: yes. Plants can grow without germinating seeds. Some plants grow from other parts of the plant such as stem, root or leaf. This is called vegetative propagation. Examples: onion grows from a bulb, ginger grows from its stem, bryophyllum can grow from its leaves, and rose can grow from a stem cutting. Observe the life cycle of 5 plants grown at home, school or in a nearby garden. Create a picture book containing pictures of various stages of their growth. Write the name of each plant and the duration of each of its stage. So you can observe the life cycle of 5 plants such as bean, mint, tomato, chili and sunflower. Draw or paste pictures showing the different stages of their growth. Write the name of each plant and the approximate time taken for each stage in your picture book. Try to observe some of the stages in the life cycle of a butterfly or a moth. Are these stages similar to the stages in the life cycle of a mosquito? The life cycle of a butterfly or moth has 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa and then to adult. The life cycle of a mosquito also has 4 stages. Thus, the stages are similar as both insects pass through egg, larva, pupa and adult stages and undergo metamorphosis. However, the larva of a butterfly is called a caterpillar while the larva of a mosquito is called a wriggler. In your opinion, would the environment affect the life cycles of insects? Explore and list the factors that affect the life cycles of insects. Answer: yes, the environment affects the life cycles of insects. The growth, development and survival of insects depend on environmental conditions. Factors that affect the life cycles of insects: temperature. Insects grow better in a suitable temperature. Water or moisture. Some insects need water in their early stages. Food. Insects need food to grow and develop. Surroundings. A suitable place is needed for insects to live and grow. Let us create. Add more lines to the incomplete poem given below. Include information on the different stages in development of a frog. You may also draw and paint each stage as it appears in your poem. It is given: in shaded and grassy bogs, there lived a group of frogs. They happily sang from dusk to dawn, in double bass going on and on. One day sitting beside a reed, female frogs think it's time to breed. Now we can continue the poem reflecting what happens next in the life cycle of a frog. You can write something like: soon they laid their tiny eggs, round and soft with no tails or legs. After some days the eggs did hatch. Little tadpoles swam in a patch. With long tails they swam around, wiggling happily in the pond. Their tails grew smaller day by day. Soon they hop and jump away. Now they croak both loud and long, joining again in the happy frog song. And you can also draw and color the different stages of the frog's life cycle along with the poem. So with this, we have completed the NCERT question and answers for this chapter. I hope you found it easy to understand. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.